Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! News, where the news comes last and the weather comes later. So many new cards were revealed. It's time to go over all of them. First off, starting with the Raging Tempest, the set that will be released into the OCG on October 8th. And some people were already looking at like the cover monster, like is that Brave Eyes Pendulum Dragon that was used by Yuya in the anime against Aster? It sort of looked like it, but at the same time it didn't. So people weren't really sure, and I'm still not sure if that's actually Brave Eyes Pendulum Dragon. But the first card that has been revealed for that set is Brave Eyes Pendulum Dragon. It is a level 8 Dark Dragon Fusion Effect Monster, 3000, 2000 Pendulum Dragon Monster, and as expected, a Warrior type monster. Rune Eyes needed a Spellcaster, Beast Eyes needed a Beast, Brave Eyes needs a Warrior. When it's Fusion Summoned, you can make the attack of all monsters your opponent currently controls 0, but other monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of the turn. Negate activated effects of monsters with 0 attack, so continuous effects aren't negated. And at the end of the damage step, when this card battles an opponent's monster, but the monster was not destroyed by that battle, you can banish that opponent's monster, which can be really nice. It won't apply that much, I think, but it would certainly be nice in some situations. Next of that, we have a new Magician Pendulum monster. That being, what is the name? Dragon Calling Magician, and it is indeed somewhat related to dragons. It's level 7, 2400,000, Pendulum Skill 2. Pendulum Effect allows you to target a face-up monster you control, and it becomes a dragon type until the end of the turn. Let me know if you have any idea how you can properly use that. For the monster effect, once per turn you can activate the effect. This card's type becomes Dragon type. Also, a Synchro, Fusion, or Xyz monster summoned using this card on the field as material gains this effect. If it battles a Dragon type monster, its attack becomes double its current attack until the damage step. Double its current attack until the damage step. Its attack becomes double its current attack during the damage step only. Also, you can check any face-up monster that type becomes dragon. It doesn't need to be itself, can be an opponent's. So I'm thinking you can use this in like Dark Magician deck that also has Buster Blader. Because Buster Blader and like fusion and cards related to it work with the opponent having dragons and possibly you as well. I think this could help with that. Like you can use this effect, like it's pendulum. Let's say you have it as pendulum and as monster. You can make the opponent's type a dragon and then fuse like Xyz with it into something else and then battle that or Synchro or Xyz whatever and battle that opponent's monster. You just turn into a dragon, you have double attack. So if you already use it for a monster that has really high attack, that could be amazing. And it's double its current attacks. If you boost its having good monster, boost that card attack with an equipped spell or whatever, and then attack, it's double its current attack, so you'll double upon that. So that'll be really nice. Next up, Neo Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon, the rank up version of Galaxy Eye Cypher Dragon, being a rank 9. There's 3 level 9 mounts as expected. No, actually 3 level 9 lights, which is 3 level 9 still something. If this card is a Cypher card or Kinetic Soldier against this effect, also notice Cypher card, not Cypher monster. So there will be spells and traps that can be equipped to this as Xyz material, attached to this as Xyz material. Need to get the terminology right there. Once per turn, you can attach up to 3 Xyz materials from this card. Other monsters you control cannot attack your opponent directly for the rest of the turn. Also take control of face-up monsters your opponent controls equal to the number detached. So if you somehow get this thing out and your opponent has multiple monsters, let's say 3, you can take control of all 3 of them at once. Sure, they can't direct attack, but if it's an Xyz monster and you can change it into, let's say, a guy rocking the Thunder Charge, you can still direct attack with it. But notice this: the effects of all monsters taking control of this effect are negated. Unfortunately, you can't do it with that. You can still Xyz with them or Synchro with them, so the opponent doesn't even get them back. Also, their attack becomes 4500, and their name becomes Neo Galaxy. The attack, you have to figure it out a bit how you can really use that. It'll be useful if the opponent still has a monster remaining. The fact that name becomes Neo Galaxy Cypher Dragon will help with some of the spell and trap support that the Cyphers have. So it'll be interesting to see how this card will play. A new monster, Cypher Stranger, or Cypher Stranger as it's currently being translated. It's a Cypher monster with no attack and no defense, but if you have it in your hand, you can target a Cypher Xyz monster you can... No, if it's in your hand or graveyard, I should say. You can target a Cypher Xyz monster you control, attach this card from the hand or graveyard to it as Xyz material. Also, you can only use one effect of this card per turn, and only once that turn. But on a different turn, or like if you haven't used the first effect at all in the first place, if this card is sent to the graveyard, this can be by detaching, you can add a Cypher spell trap card from your deck to your hand. And a Cypher spell trap card that you could add is a Rank of Magic Cypher Ascension, which allows you to... It's a quick play rank up, which can be really nice. Second quick play rank up after Rank of Magic Quick Chaos. During the main phase, you can target a Cypher Xyz monster you control and special summon a Cypher Xyz monster from your extra deck that is a rank higher. We currently do not have a lot of Cypher Xyz monsters. We just have Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon and Neo Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, but this suggests that there will be quite a lot. Well, at least some of the new ones. Using that target you control as the Xyz material. Also, the special summon monster gains this effect against 500 attack for each level 4 or higher monster you control. So, if you can get multiple of your... So this... Yeah, if you get, let's say, multiple Cypher wings or anything else, that's interesting. Well, like, Cyphers have effects that make use of monsters, having multiple monsters of the same name. And if you can get, let's say, multiple Cypher wings out or anything like that, then you can get that attack boost for your rank up monster, which is quite nice. Next up, a Speedroid monster, which was used by Hugo in the episode last week. It'll have been little over a week ago when I uploaded this video. Speedroid OMK Gum, a 0 attack, 800 defense tuner monster. During the battle phase, if you take damage, you can special summon it from your hand. Suppose that can be nice. Can also be as defense if the opponent's direct attacking multiple times. During the battle phase, if this card is special summoned on its own effect, you can immediately after this resolves synchro summon using any wind monster you control, including this card. So let's say you have your Clearwing Synchro Dragon out, it attacks into an opponent's monster, but then you take damage. That doesn't make sense. No, let's say you have your what's it called? The 1200 attacker, Terratop. 1200 attacks the only monster you have out. You attack into an opponent's defense position monster. You're not sure if you'll be fine, but you attack into it. You take some damage because the opponent is stronger in defense than you're in attack. You take that damage, you could summon Speedroid OMK Gum and then synchro with it to a level 4. Could be nice. It doesn't say summon a wind monster, it's just summon using only wind monsters you control. So you can still summon, let's say, a Castello or a number 101. No, wait, though, those are Xyz monsters. Never mind, fail. Ow, that hurt. Sort of. Third effect, if this card is sent to the grave as a synchro material, you can send the top card of your deck to the grave. If it's a Speedroid, this monster synchro summon using this card against 1000 attack. Could be nice. And maybe you can use something like the 3-eyed dice or other Speedroids in the grave, or even other effects that are in the grave that can be useful from the grave. Like Breakthrough Skill. Could be nice being sent to the grave by this. Next up, Wind Witch Archetype. Yeah. Rin used this in that same episode that OMK Gum was used. I'm interested to see how these play out. In the anime, like, there were 3 Wind Witch cards revealed. No, 2. There was a third one used in the anime, because you can see them here. This is Snowbell, this is Winterbell. And there was a third one which was called, something Witch. Maybe it's... Well, it was something Witch. Wind Witch... Some kind of... Yeah, it was a witch, literally on flying on a broom. Anyway, that had an ignition effect that allows you to deal 500 damage to the opponent. And what I liked, at least about the first few Wind Witch cards in the anime, that the idea I got for the Wind Witch archetype is that a good amount of them have ignition effects that, for example, deal burn effects to that one witch that I just explained. And then the bigger monsters like Winterbell and then the fusion monster that was also used, allow you to choose a Wind Witch from the graveyard and activate that ignition effect as that synchro or fusion monster's own effect to deal more of that damage. So I hope they will expand on that, although I've seen the effects be a little bit different. We have a little tuner here in Snowbell. If you control 2 or more wind monsters and no non-wind mods, you can activate it and special summon it from your hand. This could also be useful in Speedroid, because Speedroid is also wind. If you synchro summon a wind synchro monster using discard synchro material, it cannot absorb your opponent's card effects. Once again, can be used in Speedroids as well. Then here we have Wind Witch Winterbell, a level 7 wind synchro. Needs any tuner and then one or more non-tuner wind monsters. So, once again, can be used in Speedroids. You can only use one of the effects per turn. You can target a Wind Witch monster in the grave and inflict 200 damage times its level to your opponent, which suggests that the regular witch, the level 4 I believe that was used, or level 3 or 4 it was, that Rin used, it might not have that burn effect, because this Winterbell was able to copy that effect and then deal the burn damage, which suggests that either that witch itself will just have a different effect, but likely the idea behind that I got from the archetype, that are just a bunch of ignition effects, and then the bosses like Winterbell can then make use of those effects as well from the graveyard, that won't be the way they play in like the TCG and OCG in real life, which I find a little unfortunate because I like the idea. But so maybe I'll actually take that idea of taking over those ignition effects into Yu-Gi-Oh! Burst. Second effect, during the battle phase, you can take out a Wind Witch monster you control, special summon one monster with an equal or lower level from your hand, but it can't attack this turn. Maybe you can use its ignition effect. Or you can use that to summon the Wind Witch Snowbell, and then, like in main phase 2, you can synchro with it. Who knows? Or it's you target a Wind Witch you control, which can be Winterbell itself, and then special summon a monster with an equal or lower level. The monster you summon doesn't need to be a Wind Witch. You could actually summon that Parasite card that was used in that same episode. Like, nothing's been revealed about that Parasite card actually being released, but that could be a really nice combo. Anyway, we have the card that were I believe originally Korean exclusives that were known as Burgostoma. We now know them as Paleozoic or Paleozoic. I believe that's the official TCG name now as well. And these are just the confirmations that they will also be released in the OCG. You have Paleozoic Opabenia, Olanoides, Marilla, and Neoncolia. And then also confirmed release for kaijus that were previously TCG exclusives: Lightning Strike, Destruction Beast, Thunder the King, or Thunder King, the Lightning Strike kaiju. Oh my god, these like super anti-kaiju war machine Mecha Dogoran. That's already a really long TCG name. Then in Japan they'd have Anti-Destruction Beast, Final Battle Weapon, Super Mecha Dogoran. That's even longer. Kaiju Files will be released. Kaiju Capture Mission will be released, and then we have this one. Psycho Sword Master of the Far East, probably Far East. Supreme Sword here sounds like Kyoto, the old imperial capital of Japan. Its effects or things aren't really written down, but I wonder what its pendulum effect is. It's a normal monster, so this will just be lore here. 2900 attack, 2600 defense, level 7, skill 10, which is really big. So there might be like a restriction placed on the pendulums you can play with this thing in the skill. I'm interested to see what that actually says. And then finally we have Kuzunoha the Onmyojin. We don't actually have revealed what it says here. Maybe it's not properly readable yet. It's level 8, 3000, 2300, skill 1. Possibly like negative effects because it's skill 1, but not all of them have been like that with negative effects if skill 1. For example, like things like Dragon Pit Magician, Dragon Pulse Magician, Odd Eyes, Performapal, Unicorn thing. Those are negative with skill 1 and 8 either, so who knows what this will be like. Who knows what this card will be like. As you can see, a bunch of cards revealed for OCG, and most of these will be released in TCG as well, eventually, if they aren't there already, like the kaijus. Alright, that was a really big news video for today. I will see you soon in the next Daily Yu-Gi video. Goodbye.